Hi there, I'm Andy Hillier, and in this guitar lesson I'm going to teach you how to play the theme from Metal Gear Solid. Now I've done a cover version of it, so if you want to hear what it sounds like all the way through, go and check that out. I'll leave a link in the description and a card above. Go and have a listen to it. And in this video I'm going to teach you how to play that arrangement. Just before I do though, if you wouldn't mind subscribing to my channel, which is Andy Hillier, give me a like on the video, leave me some comments in the comment section including any songs you want to learn. And if you love what I'm doing and you want to print the tabs off for this, I'll put it on my Patreon page. I'll leave a link to that in the description as well. My guitar's in standard tuning. You could play this on any type of guitar, electric guitar, acoustic guitar, it'd be fine. Okay, the first line sounds like this. So for that, we're starting with this chord. It's a weird, like, diminished chord, which is A5, D6, and G7. Sounds really a bit dissonant, but that's what we've got. And it just holds that for 4 beats. So it goes 1, 2, 3, 4. The next bar starts with E3. And you're just going to play that. And just to fill in the gaps, I've just tapping the guitar on beats 2, 3, and 4. So it goes 2, 3, 4. Same in the next bar. And then bar 4 sounds like this, which is E3, another E3, E4, then E3 pulling off to E1. If you struggle to do a pull off, you could literally just play the 3 and the 1. So it's all with the pull off. Doesn't make a massive difference in the sound. So let's play the whole of the first line. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. On to the second line. Now the first bar of the second line is what we played in the previous bar, which would go. So it's the same thing, 3, 3, 4, 3, 1 on the E string. And then we go to the D string and it's going to go. Similar idea, D3, D3, then up to D5 and then D3 pulling off to D1. So the next bar there, so bar 7. And then in bar 8 we've got some octaves. We've got, so we're playing A5 and G7 at the same time. We do that twice. Then we're going to go up a fret to fret 6 and then 8, back down to 5 and 7, and then slide down to fret 3 and 5. So you got. So that's bar 8. And the next bar, bar 9, we're going to 3 on the D string and 6 on the B string. And we're going to play that twice. Then move up 2 frets. So your first finger goes to D5, little finger on B8. So you got. And then this is where like the melody starts of the song, playing B3 and G5, which will go on to the next line. So let's just try that line. Here we go. And let's go to the next section. So the next line starts with this melody coming in. So we've got. So for that, first finger, the easiest way to play this is to put your first finger and bar it across all the strings at the 3rd fret. So then any 3s, you've already got it covered. So you've got first finger there, and then you're playing the E string and the G string at the same time. Then G5, I'm using my 3rd finger. Then B, which is B3, your first finger's held onto that. And then D5. So the first bar of that line goes. Bar 11, next bar, we play E3 and B3 at the same time. And then G5, G3 and G5, so bar 11 goes. So the first 2 bars of that line we've got. Then bar 12, E3, B3 and B3 at the same time. Then E3 nearest to the floor, B6, B3. So bar 12 you got bar 13, G3 and E3, then G5, and then B3 and E3 to finish. So bar number 13 goes. So the whole line goes 2, 3. On to the next line, so the second line of the A section. So bar number 14. So E3 and E6 nearest to the floor. Then you've got to play E5, E6, E8. So you've got. And then use your first finger flat across bar 6. And we play the A string and the E string at the same time. Then B8, B6 and B8. So that bar number 15 goes. And then into the next bar, bar 16, you've got. So I'm playing D string with E5 and B6 at the same time. E6, E5, E3, E1. So you got. Then bar 17, A3, E3 nearest to the floor, so I'm just doing that with my first finger flat, and little finger or third finger on B5, all at the same time. And then just an A3 on its own into bar 18. Don't play anything in the brackets, that's just held on from the previous line. And then play B3 and G5. So bars 17 and 18 go 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. So the whole of that line goes. Okay, on to the next line. So this is, I've called this the B section. It's a bit like the A section, but it's changed a little bit. So the whole line of that B section goes. So we've got E3, so we're starting on the beginning of that line, bar 19. E3 and G3. Then G5, B3, D5. So bar 19. Bar 20, we've got D1 and B3 at the same time. And then B1, G3, and then B1. So you've got. Bar 21, we've got A1, G3 and B3 all at the same time. Then you're going to play E3, E1 and B3. So you've got 1, 2, 3. And bar 22, D1 and G3 at the same time. Then a B1, B3 and E3 to finish that line. So the whole of that line goes. On to the next line, we've got E3 and E6 nearest to the floor, E5, E6, E8. So this is very much like the second line of the A section you've got. Then A6 and E6 at the same time, B8, B6, B8. So the first two bars of that line go. And then next bar, bar 25, you've got open D with B6 and E5 on top. Then E6, back to hitting the D string, the B6 and the E5 at the same time. So you've got E3, E1, and into bar 26, you've got your first finger barred on the 3rd fret, and you play the A3, the E3 and the B6. And then bar 27, you've got the A3. Next bar, you've got D5 and then G5. So the whole of that line slowly goes. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. And on to the next page, if you printed this out from my Patreon page, and the C section. First line of the C section sounds like this. So for that bar 30, we've got open D string and B3 at the same time. Then E3 with open G at the same time. Then open G with E3 nearest to the floor at the same time. Then B6, B4, B3 with the D at the same time. So you've got first two bars of that line. Then A1 with E3, open A with B3. So you've got then E3 with E6, then E5, E3, E2 with the D at the same time. So the last bar of that line goes. So the whole line slowly goes. And the last line that we need to learn, all the way up to 10 on the E string with the open D string. Then E3 and E3. Then A3 with E3 nearest to the floor. B6, B4, B3 and hit the D string on the B3. So the first two bars of that line go. Then A1 with E3. Open A with E10, open G string with E8, E6, E5, then A3 with E3, and actually I played this wrong when I did my cover version. I played the B5 out of time and then B4. So let's try and play that line. Here we go. Okay, and then that's the end of it. And then I went back to the B section and just played through the B section. And that's the whole song. So let's put it all together. Well, hopefully you've enjoyed that little guitar lesson. If you have, if you wouldn't mind subscribing to my channel, it really does help me out. Give me a like on the video, leave me some comments in the comments section, including any songs you want to learn, where in the world you're from, what you thought of the video, And if you love what I'm doing and you'd like to print the tabs off for this, I'll put them on my Patreon page. I've said it as cheaply as possible. Go and check that out. There's loads of tabs on there. Thanks for watching this. I've been Andy Hillier, and I'll see you next time.